Okay guys, welcome to this chapter 2 of the cartooning digital meetup for beginners. Today we are going to deal with the chapter 2. I hope you guys understood something from the chapter 1 according to the definition and essentials. Today we are going to go further and see the size and proportion of your art, your workspace, and how to deal with the tools that you need to start your works. Then we are going to see the brush settings. That's commonly the question that people ask me, how I set up my brush to have more realistic blending and more smoothness when it comes to blending. So let's move to the details now. For the size and proportion of your artworks, it's very easy, but most of the time people don't understand the difference before settings and what can I say, the size and the quality of the image. People think that the higher the size of your image is, then the higher your quality is. It's not true. You can have a 25 megabyte image that is very heavy for the internet, but the quality can be low according to the social media on which you are posting. So I recommend you guys, after finishing all your painting process, to really bring some grain and some sharpness to your picture, that you can make the audience appreciate it well. Okay, so as I said here, size does not always mean quality. Okay, so we are going to move to the part 2, where I'm going to explain you how to deal with the working tool. So here are the tools that are commonly used. I don't know for other artists, but we are going to focus on what we are going to use now. As for me, the common tools that I use are 4 and 5, we can say, because I use also the rotate tool, but I didn't mention it here. So the brush tool is the first one, pipe tool second, pen tool third, then the selection tool for almost all the process according to selecting the images, the layers, and moving things around and bringing something and removing something. That are the principal tool that I use to make my artworks. Okay, so let's begin with the brush tool. The brush tool, it's here. As you can see, here is the brush tool. So I use it for my outlining and also to blend up my image. But this tool have some different settings according to what I'm using for. Okay, so it's not only for outlining. When I do from my outline, I have some settings that I use for, and the type of brush that I use. And when I do my blending, I have also my type of tool that I use to bring out my works. So then we are going to move to the pipe tool. The pipe tool is here. Where is it? It is here. Okay, here is the pipe tool. So to explain you well, the pipe tool helps me to select all the colors that I see on the principal image or the basic image that I'm going to cartoon. Okay, so I take my time to select all the colors that I see on this picture. Then I organize my mind to bring out the colors layer by layer. So I ask myself, what are the colors that are before and beneath and on top of each other? So it helps me to really organize my layers to the point that it cannot be an issue when I'm going to fill up my outline. So let's move to the pen tool now. let's move to the pen tool now. The third you see most of the time, excuse me, most of the time when I use my my pen tool is to fill up my outline. So I do the outline first from the image layer, then I fill up my colors with my pen tool. The pen tool is here, you can see. That's what I use to fill up my images. Then you are going to select this one. Here is the selection tool or the moving tool. Yeah, selection tool or moving tool. You see, the selection tool or moving tool helps me to select which layer I want to work on. So it also helps me to remove something that I don't want and select some part of the image that I forget to paint. So it depends. So we are going to show you little by little how I deal with all those tools. So now we are going to move to the part 3 of the chapter 2, which is the brush setting. So I think it's going to be more interesting now, as people are asking me how I set up my brush to get some more realistic blending. So let's go. Here is the brush tool. Okay, here is the brush tool when I want to paint. Let's create a new project. New. Okay, so for the size and proportions, I'm using 5000 here. Then my resolution is 300 pixel. See, so it's a square that I use because Instagram use square too, so I prefer to paint all my images by square. So I rename it artwork 1. Let's go with artwork 1. So okay, here is our workspace. Okay, so the workspace is 5000 per 5000. Here is the workspace and 300 pixels. Okay, so as I said, we are going to move to the brush setting now. So I selected my brush, the brush that I used to do my outlines. So let's deal with the outlines now. To do my outlines, I go there, here, then I select in the hard brush. I set the size to almost you can see between 8 and 50, so it can be 10 like this. Yes, 10. Okay, so you can see it's very thin now. Okay, I prefer to make my background gray so it can breathe almost the white and the black. You can see if I switch up the colors here, I can see my white. But if the background is white, I cannot see the background. I cannot see the brush when I use the white color. Okay, so I prefer you guys to put your background on gray. It's very important. So I have my white here, then I have my black here, so it's on a gray layer. Okay, after explaining all this, let's deal with the where is it? Okay, now how do I set up my brush? So we also did with the size of the image. So I put it on 11. Then I'm going to settings here. Settings. Then I click here. Move here. So when you're using the brush, the pen tablet, you can have some option here as the pen pressure. So when you're using the pen pressure and you activate shape dynamics, when you activate shape dynamics, it makes the border thinner. You see, like this. You see, just like this. Press it like this, just like this, and press it like this. So as you see, we are on the settings, the brush setting. So here is the brush. I select the size to 11. So we are going to move here now. So all the deal is going to be for here. So we have our workspace here. We selected the color black to see our layers when we are going to edit the settings. Then let's move here. Why I recommend you guys to use a pen tablet? Because when you are using a pen tablet, it brings more accuracy to the brush. You see the brush now. Here's the default brush size or the type of brush when you are using the mouse. Okay, so let's take an example now. I'm going to use the mouse. Okay, I drop down my pen tablet, then I use the mouse. Okay, I'm going to increase the size for you guys to see. Okay, now, so here you see that the setting is for the pen tablet. You can see when you put on pen pressure, that's what it brings. You can see now I'm using the mouse. That's why it's like this. So when I paint, you can see that the borders are round here, and there's no smoothness for the borders. You can see. So you cannot have those kind of smooth and thinner border when you are going to use the mouse. Okay, so what is really important is the pen tablet. I recommend you guys, before you start any type of digital painting, to have it, because when it comes to pen tablet, it brings you more options to see. Now I drop down my mouse. I'm going to use my pen now. See, I'm going to use my pen now. So when I click on the workspace, it's going to change. So you can see now, you can see the type of brush that I'm using when I use the pen tablet. So let's go to the workspace and try to paint it. So you see the borders of the brush. How is it comparing to the mouse? You can see, let's draw something like this too. Something like this too again. You can see it's not the same border, and the brush is more flexible. That's what I want to tell you about the pen tablet. So let's move to the transfer. So the transfer is very complicated for those who don't understand it. Okay, but for the transfer make the borders of the brush more smooth. See, here are the borders, excuse me. So the borders here are smooth. Here is also smooth. So the shape dynamics make it thinner. You see, thinner like this, and the transfer make it smooth. Okay, but if you don't have the pen tablet and is the mouse that you are using, it's going to be like this anyway, like this too. It's going to be as a default one, like this and like this. It's going to be like this, like the mouse. Here is the settings of the mouse. Even you are using the pen pressure. Now I'm using a pen, so you see the borders, shape dynamics to make it thinner, then transfer. You activate the pen pressure, it make it smooth. So you see, shape dynamics for make my brush thin to the borders, then transfer to make it smooth. You can use only the two settings. So I'm going to disable here. So you use only the two settings is almost enough to start your painting. So why do I recommend you that is for the borders and the smoothness of your brush. So I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. Let's go to the title of the lesson. So you see now the brush pressure, we deal with the shape dynamics, pen pressure, brush size, and brush hardness. What is brush hardness? The brush hardness is this. Here is hard. Here you can see the borders are hard. Here is smooth. Okay, so there are two different type of brushes that I'm using to make my cartoons. I use the smooth one to blend up, then the hard one to make my outlines. Most of the time when I'm doing illustration, I only use that to fill up, to draw, to do anything. But for this, as most of the face cartoon that I'm doing, excuse me, the borders are, or the skin is so smooth, and there are often some retouched photography that I'm used to do my cartoon. That's what I'm using the soft brush to make the borders more smooth. So here's the big deal. Understand those type of things: the shape dynamics, the pen pressure, the brush size. But before, you have to use a pen tablet. Very, very, very important. Otherwise, you cannot use the option as I mentioned it here. Okay, so remember, shape dynamics is to make your brush borders thinner, then transfer is going to make your brush the brush borders very, very smooth according to the percentage that you bring into it. Okay, let's go and see again. Let's select the brush tool, hard brush, shape dynamics to make it thinner, pen pressure, then come to transfer. Okay, it's already on pen pressure, so the borders are smooth. Okay, so now when you are going to increase this, the more you increase, the less smoother it becomes. So you can see when you increase those things, the control here and here, it becomes like the shape dynamics at default. You can see, so you can decrease now to make it smooth. You can see smooth, you can see. Okay, so it depends on what are the level of smoothness that you need to make your cartoon. So I think that is all for today. For the next part is going to be the real cartooning. We are going to start the cartooning as I want to teach you the chapter 3 Let me show you the chapter 3 here. Okay, so the chapter 3 is going to be the process of the full cartooning. So the outlines, we are going to draw from scratch, then draw directly from the picture. Okay, so see you to the next step of our lesson. But before, study your tools, study your shape dynamics and all the tools that you need. Pick up the knowledge that you want here, and if you want to bring me something as knowledge, don't forget to mention it on the comment section. Okay, so for this weekend it's closed, so see you to another weekend for the final step of our lesson, which is the cartooning process. So we are going to start from outlining to blending and putting some extension, and also I'm going to give you some exercises for you and some files to train yourself, and make me a feedback if you need. So thank you guys for watching this episode of the cartooning digital meetup for beginners. So goodbye and God bless you.